Welcome back to the Guard Your Savings podcast, ladies and gentlemen, with Dolph, Janis, host of the show, founder, insurance professional, and income strategist at Clear Income Strategies Group. I'm your co-host, Doug Turnbull, and Dolph and his team at the Clear Income Strategies Group serve the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. That's where they're based, and you can get in touch with them by going to guardyoursavings.com. That clicks through their main homepage, and then also dial them up, 704-919-0149, 704-919-0149. Schedule that Ask Anything session, that 20-minute Ask Dolph Anything session. He's also got a lot of complimentary literature about different retirement topics there that they can send your way, including Dolph's book, Cross the Bridge to Retirement, Keeping Your Financial Future Stress-Free.
Doug, I mean, interrupt you when you're talking about that 20-minute Ask Anything. You were asking me those questions about golf on the last podcast. I had a gentleman call me up in a 20-minute Ask Anything, and all he wanted to talk about was putter grip, swinging, distance control, and everything. Like he said, it said Ask Anything, and I was like, it was such a great conversation. We talked for like at least a half an hour about just golf. And then we ended up going to lunch like about 5 or 6 days later. He said, what do you actually do and stuff like that? So, I mean, literally, you can ask anything.
That's incredible. Okay, ask anything. And Dolph loves golf, loves Seinfeld, all right, among other things. And he loves helping you with your retirement. Why he wrote the book, Cross the Bridge to Retirement, Keeping Your Financial Future Stress-Free. So dial up again, 704-919-0149. And if you want to hear anything on the show, send him an email, info@cisforlife.com. That's Clear Income Strategies, info@cisforlife.com. All right, Dolph, last episode, you gave us the ins and outs of Social Security. Today, we're going to talk about basically saving for a cause, saving for a purpose, and we want to lead into it with this. So there was a survey recently about what Americans consider to be a perfect vacation. This is on GoCity.com. A new study of U.S. travelers shows their perfect vacation is longer than I would imagine here, there, Dolph. 11 days, 3 or more hours from home, and costs nearly, you ready? $9,000 a person. Family of 4, $36,000 trip, okay? 63% of the respondents said they love a sunny beach. 43% said they want to be near a major city. 42% say they'd like a place with a historic location nearby. 40% want to check off a bucket list item like seeing the Eiffel Tower or going to the Grand Canyon or whichever. And 88% said they'd give up something like a direct flight or extra time off to guarantee the vacation is perfect. 92% of them said that if one thing on their trip goes wrong, that it's enough to ruin everything. A missed flight, a bad hotel, whatever. And I'm going, what kind of trip? If you spend $9,000, you got to be a little flexible. But we're talking about saving here, Dolph. So first off, are people's goals a little lofty? Granted, they asked the perfect vacation, but $9,000 a person?
Well, these day and age, I mean, heck, you go out to a restaurant and you get a soda and they're charging you $4.50 just for a soda. I mean, you have 3 sodas a day and then times that by 4 people. How much money you spend a week just on soda? So, I mean, $9,000 per person. Yes, that sounds a little excessive. I mean, unless you're flying from the United States to Europe and then going on a luxury cruise and a luxury yacht and a suite of all suites and stuff like that. So, I mean, but you did say, what did they consider the dream vacation? Yes. The average vacation, I mean, obviously, it's whatever you can afford a vacation it could be. I mean, you can have the best time in the world staying at a Best Western going to Disney World than staying inside the Disney park. I mean, what are you going there for? Are you going there for the hotel or are you going there for the parks? That's the reason vacation. But talking about savings for a cause, that's what I love about this topic we picked today. And I want to say thanks, Jennifer from Waxhaw, for throwing this topic in there as a suggestion. This show's for you, Jennifer, because this is one of what you want to know about is when you get your paycheck, where does it go? I mean, that's the number one question. Hopefully you're getting a paycheck, first of all, but if you are getting a paycheck, where does it go? And how are you distributing that paycheck to go forward? Are you putting it all in one place and just living off of it and paying your bills and stuff like that? And then when you want to take a vacation, you put it there? Or are you diversifying your paycheck to different places? I mean, if you have direct deposit, you can put up to 10 different locations for that deposit to go from your company through ADP, at least in paychecks. I know they allow 10 people as well. So let's just say your paycheck's $5,000. You can put $500 in 10 different places. And this is something I do, and I encourage my staff, and almost every one of them does the same thing, is put some money away for what you're going to be living on today. Then, of course, you're going to have another bucket. You're saving that money for the future, whether it's a kid's college fund or it is retirement. That is called saving for your future. Then you can have another bucket out there you can say for vacation, which we all have. And if you put different buckets out there from different locations, that when that money gets dispersed there, and like when you want to go on vacation, it's like, holy woly. I don't know what woly means, but holy lowly. I mean, I got $10,000 here to go on vacation by. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's like, just because you're putting that money in there every day, it's like I have a bucket at home. Every day I throw $1 in that bucket, and then at the end of the week I throw $20 in that bucket. So I'm putting almost $120 a month into that bucket. And at the end of the year, I got $1,500 to spend on my daughter for Christmas
Yeah.
just by putting a little bit of money in there. But people that save in one account and they have all their money at B of A or Wells Fargo or whatever the banks are out that you live at and that you do with, it's dangerous because you have you see this big chunk of money there and you feel like you can spend more of it. You can buy a new dishwasher. Oh, it ain't going to affect anything. But when you have different buckets out there, and even though they're adding up to the same thing, each one of them has a cause. Like, this is for my daughter's college. This is for my vacation. This is for the housing cost. This is for the emergency money. And this is something I talk to every prospect I work with, every client we talk on an annual basis about this. Do you have money for today? Do you have money for tomorrow? And do you have never money? And if you're not saving for today, tomorrow, and never, you're behind the eight ball if you play billiards right from the get-go. And Doug, what I'm talking about today, tomorrow, never is having the money today, the money you're living off of today to pay your bills, to pay your expenses, food, this, that, and the other. Tomorrow's money, that's your retirement. If you want to retire and live in the future, enjoy traveling and seeing the grandkids and doing this, that, and the other, spending the $36,000 on a family of 4 vacation and have that dream vacation, that's tomorrow's savings money. Do you have tomorrow? Most people have today, trying to get more for tomorrow because tomorrow's tough. But then you have that third bucket out there, that never money.
Yeah.
And
I
people
want to
say,
know about
Dolph,
that.
what is never money, Dolph? And every person says, what is never money? And it's a chapter in my book I wrote as well. It's money you never plan on spending. It's money you plan on leaving towards your heirs or whatever have you. But it's there if you need it in case of an emergency. Your AC busts out one Sunday afternoon and you need to spend $2,000 to get your AC fixed, but you don't want to go into your day-to-day living because you're on a set schedule and budget. You go to that never money and to pull that money out there so it doesn't affect anything in your lifestyle, but you're taken care of. That's what the never money was. Money you never plan on spending, but God, if you know it's there and you're on a daily budget, you have that money to spend.
That's a great point. Yeah, never money, hopefully never, but if you do need it, it's there. It's like, and then of course you have a plan in place, a legacy plan to pass it on to people. And here's the deal: there's not only giving your money a job. Hey, this is going to go toward this cause, as you said, saving for a cause, whether it's bills today, vacation and retirement tomorrow, or emergency fund. But then there are also, when you have things that you're planning on saving for longer, that you have strategies that you can help people with, high yield savings accounts and annuities and things like that, where that money can actually grow and have a job instead of being stagnant and being proverbially hidden under the mattress, right?
No, you want to put the never money. It's definitely something that doesn't have any fees attached to it. Definitely something that doesn't have any risk to it or whatever. And I'm going to tell you a recent story. Just about 2 weeks ago, I talked to a client, Judy and Tracy. Tracy's a male, Judy's a female. Great clients. I've known them since she was about 16, 17 years now. They're in their mid 70s. They downsized their house several years ago. So they have a nice little colonial house and they have 2 kids. Well, one of their kids getting married and got married last year and they're moving. Well, the house they're moving into, the deal fell apart. So they're in the middle of, they have nowhere to live. And the parents didn't want to just throw them on the streets and say, well, the house wasn't big enough for them to live in. So they rented them an apartment for 3 months until their house got renovated and got built and got to move in there. And for those 3 months, they used their never money that they never planned on using, but they were able to help them out and not change their current lifestyle. So Tracy and Judy lived their life, lived their bills, still did what they wanted to do, pulled a chunk of the money out of the never money to help the daughter and the husband who were just getting on by day to day and doing what parents do, is helping their kids. That's the number one. That's when we have kids, is to help the kids down in the
Yes.
emergency future. But if they wouldn't have had that never money and they're pulled out of their savings account, now they've just jeopardized their future any potential way. And you didn't want to have to do that.
No, that's a great point. Yes, if that money is in the right place, doing the right job, and is flexible or not, depending on what you needed to do, then you can make a plan. So if people want to set up this session with you and start talking to you, Dolph, about putting money in the right buckets there, how do they get in touch with you? And, can they meet with you for free the first time? Once we get past it, just asking anything, all right? If they're actually talking retirement here, you can actually meet with them for complimentary at first and then sort of figure out if it's the right fit.
Absolutely. I mean, I say it every time. I'm an educator first and an advisor second.
Yes.
That's why we have a link. We have it's called Ask Anything for 20 minutes or longer. I mean, we can meet here at the office. We can meet on Zoom. We can meet over the phone. We can meet for lunch. Whatever's convenient for you is convenient for me. And I'd like to educate you first and see if we're a
Yes.
fit. If we're a fit, then we go from there. If we're not a fit, hey, no hard feelings, shake hands. And if you learned something, fantastic. I mean, we're accessible on the website. We're accessible through social media. We're accessible here at the office. I mean, email. You think of it, we have a way of getting it, being back in touch with you. And Guard Your Savings page, we have a plethora of complimentary information, everything from Social Security to taxes to Medicare to you name it. We probably have it on there. And if there's something you don't see, we will find it for you.
Well, and speaking of that, you could come out and meet Dolph. You got to RSVP first at 704-919-0149, 704-919-0149, or by going to guardyoursavings.com and filling out the contact form. But people can learn specifically, and you're bringing a guest to help there, Dolph, later in August about Medicare, Social Security, and taxes.
Absolutely. Got one at the library. Got one at the a country club. And it's, like I said, it's strictly educational. We have a lot of white papers, a lot of detailed stuff we're handing out on taxes, on Social Security, Medicare, three of the big knowns of the retirement world that people have been requesting on that. It's not a selling platform. It's not a $200 steak dinner in a fancy restaurant. It's just, if you want to learn something, and that's why we do the educational shops, Doug, because we used to do dinner seminars back in the day, and 9 out of 10 people, they were like listening, but they weren't really interested. The people that come to the educational service, and I've seen a lot of people create friends coming to these things too, because they meet other people in their own situation. Yeah. Is the best way to learn is learn from somebody else, hear somebody else's situation, and you never know. It's like the best way to get something is a referral. And education workshops are great because all they're doing is talking about education. We're not trying to sell you a new car or new windows or overpriced leaf guard. I mean, that's what we're trying to do for you.
Yeah, I wonder what that's all about. Yeah, listen 2 episodes ago, you'll find out. So again, educational seminars that do have light snacks and drinks, but are not a full-blown, full-course meal, okay? This is going to be August 22nd and 23rd. Find out where and what time of day and all of that at guardyoursavings.com. Fill out the contact form, express interest in going either August 22nd or 23rd, and the team at Clear Income Strategies Group will send you the information you need, but you have to RSVP because they need to know how many people are coming, all right? So, Dolph, thanks for making time today to talk about giving our money the right job, especially in savings there, and looking forward to learning more, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer, again for the request in the show. Hope you learned a little bit of things today, but never forget, today, tomorrow, never. And thank you, and God bless.
Amen to that. Jennifer, by the way, send an email to info@cisforlife.com to give her input on what she'd like to hear on the show. You could do the same, info@cisforlife.com. Find the Clear Income Strategies Group on Facebook, Instagram, some of the other social media. They put all sorts of content. They got a YouTube page up. We put short videos of the show up, but this show is available on Apple, Spotify, some of the other places you find podcasts, and on guardyoursavings.com. They're out roughly every 2 weeks. We thank Alfred Romero.
Thank you, Alfred.
My man, and putting them together. Gustavo does that for us. Also, we also want to make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when these shows come out. Dolph Janis, ladies and gentlemen, is the founder, insurance professional, income strategist at Clear Income Strategies Group in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm your co-host, Doug Turnbull. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon here on the Guard Your Savings podcast.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Randall Janis, North Carolina Insurance License number 8483456. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Dolph Janis is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Dolph Janis is licensed in your state, please call 704-919-0149.